A silent war is happening right now, and Papua New Guinea is caught in the middle. On one side, the United States and its allies. On the other, China, the rising superpower. And PNG, it's the battlefield. But why is this small Pacific nation so important? And more importantly, what does this mean for its future? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll see just how high the stakes are for PNG and the world. Chapter 1. Why does the world care about PNG? Papua New Guinea might not seem like a major global player, but its location is pure gold in the eyes of superpowers. Think about it. It sits right above Australia, close to Southeast Asia, and next to the Pacific's busiest trade routes. Control PNG, and you control a key piece of the Pacific chessboard. That's why the US is trying to keep PNG close, and why China is making big moves too. The question is, who's winning? Chapter 2. China's secret strategy in PNG. China isn't sending tanks or soldiers. No, their strategy is far smarter. Instead, they're using money and influence. Let's break it down. China has poured billions into PNG, funding roads, bridges, buildings, and even a massive data center. Sounds great, right? Well, here's the catch. Most of these projects come with loans. Loans that PNG must repay with interest. And if they can't, China could take control of key assets just like they did in Sri Lanka when they took over an entire port. Could PNG be next? Chapter 3. The US strikes back. The US isn't sitting back and watching. In 2023, they signed a military and security deal with PNG, allowing American troops access to key bases. The message? We're still in charge here. But here's where it gets interesting. Not everyone in PNG likes this deal. Some say it puts the country at risk of being dragged into a war that isn't theirs. Others fear that PNG is just being used as a pawn in a bigger fight between the US and China. So, what does PNG do now? Chapter 4. The million-dollar question. Who wins? Right now, it's not easy to say who's winning, but both China and the US are playing very different games. China is building its influence through long-term commitments and steady partnerships. Their approach is quiet but calculated, focusing on building relationships and creating a lasting presence. On the other hand, the US is playing a faster, more strategic game, focused on defense, diplomacy, and reminding the region who's still the top power. The real question isn't just about who's ahead today, but what happens tomorrow? What happens if the world becomes more divided? What happens if these two powers stop competing and start clashing? PNG could find itself being forced to choose a side, not because it wants to, but because it has no choice. And that's the real danger. Before we get into PNG's possible future, don't forget to show some support. If you're learning something new, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you stay updated with future episodes. Now let's look at what PNG can do to protect its future. Final chapter. PNG's future, a dangerous balancing act. Here's the truth. PNG is in a tough spot. It needs China's money, but also needs US protection. Walking this tightrope is risky. If PNG leans too much toward China, it risks angering the US and Australia. If it leans too much toward the US, China might cut funding and trade. So, what's the solution? PNG's best move is to stay neutral while making deals that benefit its own people first. That means smarter trade agreements, better infrastructure deals, and most importantly, not becoming a battleground for superpowers. But will PNG's leaders make the right choice? Or will they gamble the country's future in a global power struggle? So what do you think? Should PNG side with China or the US? Or is there another way out? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's get the discussion going. And if you haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to see it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.